So in my last video, we talked about how the Knicks dodged a bullet by not trading for Donovan Mitchell, and a lot of fans are confused with my point. I didn't even mention this, but imagine if the Knicks traded RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and two unprotected firsts for Donovan Mitchell when they aren't in a position to win a championship. The Atlanta Hawks, I'm an idiot. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they traded away a bunch of picks, Sexton, Markkinen, and then they traded away their rookie, right? So they gave up a ton, but they've got Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, and other guys. The Cavs were already a very good team. They're now a championship contender. If the Knicks got Donovan Mitchell, they are not a contender. Sure, the Knicks would be very good, but that's if they were to pair Donovan Mitchell with RJ Barrett, Randall, Brunson, Mitchell Robinson. You see what I'm saying? The Knicks couldn't have done that. Not to mention that the Jazz wanted Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes, to me, was untouchable in a trade for Donovan Mitchell. And sure, to a non-Knicks fan, that sounds laughable. But also, there's a reason why we haven't won a playoff series in almost a decade, guys, because we do things like this. We have to start believing in our young players. Let's go through the Knicks depth chart. Look how young we are. Brunson, by the time his contract ends, will be 29 years old. RJ Barrett, 22. Julius Randle's like in his mid-20s. I think he's like 26 or 25. Mitchell Robinson, another guy in his mid-20s. Emmanuel Quickly, just turned 23. Quentin Grimes, younger than me. Cam Reddish, younger than me. Obi Toppin, mid-20s. Hartenstein, mid-20s. McBride, early 20s. You see where I'm getting at here? Not to mention Derek Sims is another guy that's 23 years old, like me. We have a young team. We have a ton of first-rounders. Let's look at all the first-rounders on the Knicks. Well, that we drafted because, Julius Randle was, but, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, and that's it. And, of course, you have other guys like, actually, Quentin Grimes was too. That's right. We got Quentin Grimes at the end of the first round, another guy. So you're telling me that the Knicks, with all these draft picks, all these first rounders, Julius Randle, he's not a bad player, guys. I know you and I, the whole offseason, have been saying we need to trade Julius Randle. It's time. It is, you're right. It would lead to Obi Toppin having more minutes. It would even potentially even give a guy like Jericho Sims more minutes. But Randall, right now, we should not trade him, and here's why. His value is at an all-time low. He just got a huge contract. He played poorly. And by the way, playing poorly was averaging 20, 10, and 5. Pretty crazy. Here's what we should do. And I just thought of this at the top of my head. We should go into next season. If Julius Randle is playing like an all-star, if Julius Randle's back to that type of basketball, then at the deadline, unless we're like the 5th or 4th seed, and I'm like, oh my God, the Knicks could do something in the playoffs. They could make a deep run. Again, not a championship, but the Knicks could seriously threaten the East. Then we don't trade Randle. But let's say Randle is playing very well. We're like the 6th, 7th seed. We're obviously a first-round exit, most likely. Probably six-game series in the first round. Boston, Milwaukee, that type of team. Then we just trade Randle. Because now there's a team that's like, oh, Randall's back. We can add a potential all-star. Let's give away picks, maybe a young player. That's what the Knicks should do, bro. They should not just go and trade Randall for like a first-round pick. Because if you think about it, does trading Julius Randle for a first-round pick help our franchise right now? It really doesn't. It does, in the long run, give Obi actual playing time. Maybe he becomes a star. But at the same time, Julius Randle is a good player. He's 27, by the way. I thought he was like 25 or 26. He's 27. He'll be 28 in November now that I look at it, which is still in the prime of his career. I really do believe in this Knicks team. I've been saying it all offseason. The question is, who are we beating out in the playoffs? So let's go through the teams that I don't think will be worse than us. So, of course, Miami, Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Toronto. As much as I'd like to say we're better than Toronto, we aren't. Knicks fans, let's be real. I'm biased, but come on. Toronto is an incredible team. Atlanta. Cleveland. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh-oh, guys. So now the 8th seed comes down to Chicago, who fully healthy was top of the East last season. Brooklyn. So are we beating out Chicago? Are we beating up Brooklyn? Are we potentially beating out one of those teams I just named. Maybe something happens. I don't know. The East is very competitive. I do think that the Knicks will be hanging around these. It could be the 6th seed. It could be the 8th. It could be the plan. But I'm just happy that we own our pick and we own a ton of draft picks. Paying RJ Barrett was great. I honestly don't know how much a year he's making. Somebody commented that he's making 27. I thought it was 30. Maybe it is 27. Let's say it's 27. That's great value. I just saw a stat for RJ Barrett. And take a look at this. So 3,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 200 3-pointers before age 22. RJ, Luka, Tatum, Durant, and LeBron. And of course, someone's going to look at that and be like, what's RJ Barrett doing in there? Silly goose. That sounded so weird. Why did I say that? But you guys know what I mean. Like, what RJ, he tricked everyone. RJ Barrett legit has superstar potential. RJ Barrett, he definitely does make players around him better, in my personal opinion. I like RJ a lot. Defensively, especially, he can guard guards, he can guard wings. He can play multiple positions. He's versatile. The Knicks definitely found something in RJ. The question is, can they get another star here? They had a chance with Mitch. Oh, wait, no, they didn't, because we would have had to give up RJ Barrett to get him. So we're not giving up RJ. We're not giving up Grimes. I think Quentin Grimes does have star potential. I mean, this is a guy that could very well average 20 to 25 a game, play elite defense, be clutch. He's a great shooter. But at worst case scenario is Quentin Grimes is a good 3-and-D player for us. And in a couple of seasons when the Knicks potentially do have a championship roster, having a guy like Quentin Grimes goes a long way. 3-and-D players don't come around very often. That's why we need to keep Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish could be the key to our future. We really need to give Cam more minutes, man. I'm being real with you. We've got Brunson. We've got Fournier, who definitely shouldn't be starting. It should be Brunson, and then it should be Grimes, RJ, Randall, and Mitch. There's a lot of competition in the East. The Knicks are in the thick of it. They're maybe at the back end. But I do think that even though on paper the Knicks are not as good as a lot of those teams I just named, like, I'm going to be real with you. Chicago is better than the Knicks on paper. There's no question about it. A fully healthy Bulls could legit be the 1 seed. They're very good. The Nets have Kyrie, KD, and Ben Simmons. As much as I don't trust Ben Simmons, it's still Ben Simmons. He's an all-star. But I do think that the Knicks are constructed very well. Elite defense. A point guard that isn't selfish. RJ Barrett. Not selfish. Julius Randle. Much as you want to say, he isn't a selfish player. Julius Randle's a good guy, man. He's going to go out there and surprise a lot of people. Just believe in this Knicks team. Believe in the culture, everything. Coach Tibb. I'm not the biggest Coach Tibb fan, but I do think that you give him the right pieces, we can make some noise here. I remember a couple of seasons ago, we got us to, the 5th seed or whatever, 4th seed. We really, it wasn't the greatest roster. The Knicks over-exceeded. I'm going to sign it here, though, bro. I got to go eat and then go to class. I legit have to leave in, less than 20 minutes to go to class, and my breakfast is, just got done. Some hash browns, bacon, some stuff. But, yeah, guys, peace.